world. I'm live and we are live. Hello, everybody. Let me just double check that on my phone to make sure we are definitely live. How is everybody today? It is beautiful to see people in the house. And today, I've got to check. Sorry, forgive me. I just need to check that. Yes, we are on. We are live. Sound is good. Let me put my phone on airplane mode. Let's get into it. Okay, welcome to today's live tap and talk. Today we are working on forgiveness because forgiveness is the most powerful, most amazing, most beautiful gift you can give yourself. So if you are harboring any sense of resentment or anger toward others, or shame or guilt toward yourself, if you're harboring these negative feelings, then the only person it's hurting is you. That's why, and forgiveness can be the hardest thing for you to be able to do. So we're going to get into some very specific tapping on forgiveness today. But what we're going to do is, if you have been here before, if you have been watching my recent lives, these tap and talks are all about EFT tapping. So what I get you to do is tap along with me the entire time we are live, because this technique is incredibly powerful, even if you aren't focusing on something specific, which we are going to today. But even if you're not focusing on something specific, this technique is incredibly powerful and transformational because it is working on your central nervous system. It is working on releasing the fears, the doubts, the blocks, the limiting beliefs, the subconscious programming, and all the baggage that you've picked up and you've carried with you forever. Even if you're not focused on anything directly, it's still working on stuff in the background. It might be random stuff that it's working on, but you have no idea what this technique is working on when you are just tapping, even if you're not focused on anything specific. Of course, the more specific you are, the more you are focused on the blocks, the better the results that you're going to get. And you'll see that in today's tapping. Now, if you are somewhere in a public place and you're like, I'm not doing that, this is weird, then you can do this. So this is an incredible technique. It's tapping, but I picked up this from Dr. Steve Wells, who I did many courses with many years ago. And he's incredible in the tapping space. So you can just tap on the sides of your fingernails, the cuticles of your fingers. You can do that anywhere and everywhere, regardless of where you are, and it will still be effective. But I'm going to do the weirdest thing possible, and I am just going to tap like this and encourage you to do this as well, because this, I think, is more powerful than doing the finger tapping, but either is effective. So now, by the way, if you would like a specific topic for me to work on, then drop something in the chat. Let me know if there's something really specific that you would like me to tap on and something that you would like me to talk about. I do a lot of money stuff, and forgiveness is actually a pathway to financial liberation, financial freedom. Because here's the thing, if you are holding on to negative feelings, emotions, and you're harboring resentments and anger toward people, and these things actually block money. Do you know that anger is one of the biggest money blocks? If you're harboring anger, because these emotions, these negative emotions, bring your vibration and your frequency down. We know this from the emotional guidance scale that Abraham Hicks talks about all the time. So from depression, shame, guilt, anger, sadness, grief, all the despair, all the really low frequency vibrations, and then up into the higher frequency vibrations of joy, passion, peace, love, happiness. Of course, it's obvious because of the way those emotions make you feel. All the lower vibrations, of course, the lower emotions, they feel crap, don't they? They feel crap because your vibration and your frequency is low. The higher emotions, your frequency and vibration is high. This is the most direct indication you have, your emotional guidance scale of where you're at in your state of being. So, forgiveness is one of these profound gifts that you give yourself. Because if somebody did something to you way, way, way back, and you're still harboring, which is perfectly normal, we lock on to an emotion about it and then we just carry that with us for the rest of our lives. Something can happen to us once and then we lock on to that event and it creates an emotional response within us, a reaction. But then we don't work on releasing that reaction. And then we carry the trauma, the emotional baggage with us day after day after day, year after year after year. It happened once, and we carry the emotional baggage with us, sometimes till we die. So, is that really serving you? I'm not saying that it's not valid. And it's totally normal. And this is um, our subconscious way of keeping us safe, because we had that negative experience. The subconscious goes, "Ah, okay, I am putting a big red flag on that, and we are never going to forget because we're never going to put ourselves in that position again. So I'm going to put a flag on this, and we're going to never let this go. Because if we let it go, we might put ourselves back in the same position and experience the same thing again, and that's not happening, right? So even though sometimes the programming actually causes us to repeat the same thing, fear attracts what we fear. Fear is a powerful, attractive force. Whatever you fear, you have the potential to create. I'm not going to say you will create, but you have the potential to create, because fear is a powerful vibration. And what you send out to the universe, you are a transmission station, comes back to you. So let's cut the chatter and let's get right into the forgiveness side of things, right? And in a few minutes, I'm actually going to tell you a powerful story that almost always makes me cry. It's a made up story, but it's a very powerful story. So I want you to think about somebody in your life who you have maybe had a negative relationship with. Maybe you had a negative experience with them. It could be somebody close to you. It could be just a friend. You may not even have contact with those people anymore because of something that they did. Okay. And we all have these stories, right? So I want you to bring that person into your awareness right now. Now, this exercise, we are not doing this for them, remember, because you harboring those feelings isn't hurting them. It's hurting you. So I want you to bring them and the event, what they did. And this doesn't let them off the hook, by the way. You're going to do some forgiveness work on this person and what they did. And maybe they did multiple things. It doesn't let them off the hook. You know, like if people do bad things, then such a thing called karma. And it might not happen straight away, but ultimately, karma comes back to bite people in the butt in sometimes in completely unrelated ways. But it does. It comes back to bite them. So bring them into your awareness. By the way, we're going to do some forgiveness around money and everything as well today. But this is a powerful way to start this. Bring the event into your awareness. And just focus on Focus on what they did or what they said. Focus on that as you're tapping, because as you're tapping and whatever you're focusing on, you're releasing. Yeah. So just focus on it. You don't even have to say anything. Just focus on what they did, on the event itself. Focus on how it made you feel at the time. Bring up all those emotions, because while you're tapping, you're releasing. While you're tapping, you're releasing. While you're tapping, you're releasing. I have no idea why I repeated that 3 times, but shit happens. Tap and release. There's going to be a mixture of emotions. Bring up all of those emotions and just allow them. Bring them into your awareness. Where do you feel those emotions in your body? Is it in your heart? Is it in your gut? Throat? Is it a shoulder or a leg? Maybe in your head. Find where the emotion is the most intense. Focus on that part of the body as you tap. Okay. Focus deliberately on the person and repeat after me. I choose to forgive you. I choose to forgive what you did. Even though it hurt me so much, I choose to forgive you. I choose to forgive you even though you hurt me. I've been carrying all this anger, all this sadness, all this disappointment, all this regret. I choose to release it and let it all go now. I forgive the person who did this to me. Say their name if you need to. I forgive them. I forgive them completely and totally. I don't know why they did what they did, but that's irrelevant. I choose to forgive them and release them from my field. I choose to forgive what they did because I don't want to carry this with me anymore. I choose freedom. Freedom from this pain. Forgiveness is freedom. So I choose to forgive them. I choose to forgive what they did. I choose to forgive myself for being in that position, for not doing more to stop what happened. I forgive myself for the role I played. I choose to forgive everybody involved. And I choose to release all this baggage. all the associated emotions. I choose to be free. Okay, just keep tapping, because as you keep tapping, you will keep releasing. I'm going to tell you this little story. Now, just a heads up, I'm probably going to cry because every time I tell this story, I cry. And as I said, it is a made up story. I believe, or I've heard, somebody told me that it came from Neil Donald Walsh and maybe one of his children's books. But it really helps to put a lot of this experience that we are having on this planet into perspective.